Spoiler alert for Cast Away, skip ahead if you haven't seen it. Cast Away is more than a survival story, it is an excavation of modern identity when its scaffolding, schedules, devices, and commerce are removed. Chuck Noland is an efficiency engineer whose selfhood is measured by minutes and parcels. When those measuring tools disappear, the film stages a forensic experiment on time, language, and the objects that anchor us. On the island, the movie gives us survival practicalities, but its deepest movement is ritual. Chuck invents repetitive tasks that structure his days: tending fire, carving tools, checking the shoreline. Ritual replaces the clock. Where wristwatches once validated identity, ritual reconstitutes it. This is not regression but technical reinvention, a man building meaning through cadence and small, repeatable labors. Wilson the volleyball has been written about as comic relief or simple hallucination, yet its function is more precise. Wilson is a social prosthesis. Through paint and a bloodprint, a thing becomes interlocutor, conscience, and mirror, the externalized partner in dialogue that sustains the practice of conversation. Chuck needs turn-taking to rehearse thought. By speaking to Wilson, he rehearses memory, ethics, and planning. Wilson's origin as a FedEx logo is quietly devastating. The artifact of global commerce becomes a companion in a world where systems have evaporated. The FedEx packages on the beach are not just props, they are time capsules and sacrament. Each undelivered box contains potential uses and symbolic weight: a watch that once measured life, packages that become fishing containers, the detritus of a shipping economy recoded for subsistence. The film indicts modern reliance on systems while revealing how those very materials can be repurposed to sustain life. Cast Away reframes consumer objects as narrative residues that both betray and redeem. Sound design in Cast Away is its other protagonist. The film replaces dialogic density with ambient attentiveness. After the crash, the world grows busy with silence: wind, sea, the crack of wood. Silence is active, it reorients perception. The score's restraint forces us into listening as practice. We learn the island's grammar because the movie shows us how to hear non-human rhythms as timekeepers. That shift from manufactured noise to ecological cadence is a spiritual recalibration. Tom Hanks's performance is often celebrated for restraint, but watch how his body becomes language. Scars, calluses, changes in posture and gait narrate time passing. Hanks composes interior monologue through physical detail: the slow, precise way he feeds himself, the hesitance returning to civilization. In a film of minimal speech, the body articulates chapters. Performance becomes anthropological record. There is a subdued ethics of surrender woven through the raft sequence. The construction of the raft is less triumphant conquest and more a ritual of dialogue with the ocean. The voyage is not domination, it is a test of attunement. Success in Cast Away is not a violent victory over nature but the ability to enter its logic and accept contingency. When Chuck returns, reintegration is not seamless. Time has altered the social field, lives have moved. The film refuses tidy restoration, instead honoring durable ambiguity. The film also quietly rewrites masculinity. Chuck's isolation does not summon traditional macho posturing. Instead, it produces tenderness toward objects, a capacity for grief, and an openness to vulnerability. Strength is reframed as emotional labor, maintaining inner routine, mourning Wilson, and carrying memory forward. The movie suggests a model of masculinity sustained by caregiving rather than domination. Communication breakdown is a central philosophical concern. As a FedEx engineer, Chuck depended on promises enacted through logistics. Once communication fails, promises unravel. The film asks whether obligations are tied to systems or to persons. Chuck's moral universe compresses into single acts of fidelity: burying a package, tending a fire, speaking to a ball. These small loyalties become a new moral architecture. One often overlooked formal choice is the film's editing of time. 4 years are telescoped into elliptical images: beard growth, healed wounds, repeated tasks. This compression trusts the audience to imagine the grind of survival rather than show it in gory detail. That trust is radical. It asserts that transformation is incremental and interior. Castaway's power comes from cumulative texture, the rubbed leather, the blistered hands, the daily rituals that add up to profound remaking. Finally, the film insists that objects carry stories. A wristwatch, a torn FedEx label, a painted volleyball, these are reliquaries of a prior life and instruments for the present. The movie teaches that identity is a bricolage, assembled from found things and practiced habits. In stripping Chuck to the essentials, Castaway reveals what remains when convenience is gone, a human capable of ritual, of tenderness, and of reimagining connection. That quiet revelation is the film's most radical act. It invites us to reconsider what we treasure, how we narrate loss, and what endurance asks of our capacity to stay human in a changing world.